Happy New Year! Happy 2021, everyone. I'm one of the players of the game, Mark, and I'll turn it over to our DM, John. Hi, John.
Hi, Mark. Hello, everybody, and Happy New Year. Welcome to 2021. Way in the future from 2021, actually. We're in Rifts. When we last left, we were in Donetsk. Our heroes had found the blind singer, and they had kind of made a plan, and so they've gotten the blind singer to the weapon dealer's hideout, and we're discussing what to do next. And so with that, I think I'll say hello to Chris.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back.
And say
Happy
hello
New
to
Year.
Daniel.
Hey, folks. How's it going?
And so there you go. I did want to, if I can do this right, you can see probably up on the screen. There we go. You can see up on the screen, thanks to Chris, who put this map together. I wanted to show what you see are the locations of the 7 warlords.
Nice.
And obviously Ukraine isn't circular shape, but I drew a kind of quick circle there. It's not exactly right, but that's roughly where Ukraine is in that circle.
And I also wanted to tell you, because I don't think we discussed it before we started the stream, that I entitled this episode "The Codes for Splurgorths."
Huh. Okay.
Because we got all of Orloff's codes last sessions, and they revealed a Splurgorth.
They did reveal a Splurgorth.
See, it's not easy to say.
It is not easy or to look at. They're quite a deal. So anyway, I just wanted to show you. So in yellow, the 3 that you know about are, in yellow, you have Orlov. In pink, you have Romanov, and I actually need to look up the Surye, I think is how I never can remember how to say his name unless I'm looking at it.
Yeah, I can't remember.
Oh, wrong thing. There it is.
Romanov.
Is it Sokolov or Suryev?
Seriev.
Suryev, yeah.
And which color was Suryev?
He's the dark blue.
Mm.
So those are, and that circle's not exactly correct. And Chris is helping me with a plan to try to come up with something a little better.
Yeah, I'm trying to digitize this into Google Maps, but it's hard because the Rift's map drawer isn't a very accurate map drawer.
Yeah, Kevin Simbita. He the way he drew this map, as you see right here, the way he drew it is not very accurate. And matter of fact, if you can see Denmark, you can see that you see that if I post a link in Roll20, can you guys open it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris already had, this is Google's map. I found this, and which has a lot of Rifts data. And so what we want to do is copy this. Apparently the original author, people aren't even really sure who it is. But we want to copy this and then add the Ukraine specific stuff, all the warlords.
Has a lot of data, but all of Ukraine and Russia is just empty.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Yeah. So Chris and I are working on that. He's helping me. I'm very thankful. Yeah, Chris is better with graphics and such as that, a lot better than I am. And so he's certainly the hero of the day.
I put a +2 advances for him in the thing.
Speaking of which, let me fix the. There we go. Let me fix that. There you go. There's your bennies. And I think I will. There you go. For helping the DM with a map, there's a Benny.
Thank you.
I did want to quickly make sure that you are okay with something, John. I realized that too. But I realized that I was going through the YouTube playlist after uploading everything. And we have 2 episode 13s. I'm just going to make one of them 13.5 because we resumed normal numbering after that.
Okay.
I figure that's probably the best, unless you want to do something.
No, I think no. That's I consider that marked territory.
Nope. Well,
And,
I'll make sure to mark it.
So yeah, whatever, brother. I actually should have said something. I'd noticed that a while back, and so. So anyway, oh, the other thing I want to point out is if you see the white spot in the middle of all the warlords, that's the territory of the Sovietsky. You can see Moscow is a crater from, when all the Rifts stuff happened. And you see a place where it says New Moscow, and that's where the Sovietsky are based. Mm-hmm. They tolerate the warlords, but it's an uneasy truce. They're not at all really on friendly terms. The warlords are just that. They're warlords. They're only in charge because somebody big enough hasn't come around to knock them off their stool. And the only reason that they're tolerated as they are is that this whole area was overrun with monsters and bad things. And the one thing the warlords are good at is getting rid of the bad things.
So do you think it'll be about 10 feet or 15 feet before Zvets is big enough to knock everybody off there?
Yeah, that's kind of a mystery. That's what's going on there? I think that based on conversations with a certain somebody, that might be kind of big on Svetz's head. It's big, pardon the pun, but I think there's certainly some doubts and some wonderings about exactly what's going on. Of course, Chris can tell me if I'm wrong.
No, it's something I've been wondering.
So, and seeing as how this is a game, it's not like me to just flat out tell you. So,
yep, I've tried. He's just been like, that is a good question.
Yeah.
It is a good question.
What's...
I actually thought you were in on that, Chris. That's awesome.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
So, I will say the idea wasn't mine. I was inspired by somebody. And that's all I'll say about that.
I've always thought it was funny just how the inside joke just kind of became a thing.
It actually became a thing before the inside joke, which was funny.
Oh, did it?
Yeah, it was part of the plan, and then it became an inside joke, and then it became a real thing. So it's kind of funny that way.
So
by the way, it's not just getting taller. You do notice your horse has been changing.
That's what's stumping me. Is like I don't get the connection there.
Well, it's become your horse.
Have you beaten any of the Baldur's Gate games, Chris?
Yes, I've beaten Baldur's Gate, Dark Alliance.
Just wondering. That's part of my theory.
I haven't.
I don't remember anything of that sort in the game that I beat.
No, it wasn't in Dark Alliance.
Can you tell us what that's about, Daniel? Because I haven't beaten any of them.
It's just playing with the idea that you as a player are an avatar or a demigod, and unknown to that fact.
Yeah, I would tend to think Avatar, and every time she does something that Balrog approves of, then she gets... An angel earns its wings, or in her case, she grows an inch, and so is her horse.
What in most fantasy settings, what fuels the deity?
Belief.
So we're still in the city. You guys are in the room with the warlord, and where are my notes?
Well, no, we're not in the room with the warlord yet. We're in the room with the.
I said
dealer.
warlord. I did.
Yeah. No, I got it. We're with Marco.
Yes.
We just finished watching what she saw through her eyes. We identified what street she came out of. We have all the codes. And we know that she was forced to do things that she didn't want to do in exchange for the 12,000 credits that she paid for the eyes. We know that Vrock wants the information. I think we should... I kind of think we should erase her eyes. The memory of her eyes. The RAM of her eye. Whatever recording storage those eyes have. These eyes.
But isn't that also keeping her alive?
Is that also keeping her alive? Well, now she's in Marco's protection.
You keep saying that, but I don't know how well he's going to be able to protect her. He doesn't have connections enough to have found her. And he knows the city a lot better than we did. I mean, all in all, we already checked that box, right? Like, he's providing weapons again to Arthur's forces.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should take her with us, or find her a better situation. Giving her to her stalker is not the best option.
Can you say Bard NPC?
Well,
he's a singer.
Yeah, except she sings like what, cyberpunk opera? Wasn't that what it was?
Yeah.
And the real question is, if we draft her to our party, John, will you sing Cyberpunk opera.
No. By the way, I told you guys that I was inspired by two characters out of two different movies in the creation of her. And can you guys, a Benny, potentially two Bennies, if you can name the characters that she's based on and the movie?
Well, I don't know. My first guess would be the blue chick from Fifth Element.
Yeah.
No.
Mine would be the daughter who was locked in a corner from Repo Genetic Opera.
You have the movie right. You have the character wrong.
It's been a long time since I saw that movie. Like 5 or 6 years. I actually reached for that one, wondering if that was the direction you were going.
Oh my
That's
God.
awesome.
I am so stunned that you got the movie.
Did we mention that this is Daniel's squeeze zone?
Yeah, it kind of is.
Well, kind of for both of us, actually.
Yeah, it's true.
He and I have had this conversation.
Yeah.
Blind Mag.
Yeah, that makes sense.
It's Blind Mag, and who played her? Sarah Brightman.
I'm gonna have to look that up.
That was Sarah Brightman, played Blind Mag. So, I really toyed with having the same scene, and I was actually, you know the scene I'm talking about?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I kept coming back with Mark in my voice saying, no, this is a family show. So we didn't have that scene.
The only question... So the big problem I have with taking her with us and finding her a better situation is that she won't be able to, like, I don't know, ply her living if we take her out of the city.
There is, based on the things that we have found, there isn't a better place for her. You're not wrong. It's just the situation we're leaving her in also isn't great. If we're going to suggest anything, I think it's that we either figure out a way to pay for normal eyes back or hand her a visor and give the eyes back.
When we left last, I thought you guys had decided to go meet the voiceless and to pay her debt. That would at least take care of that. That was one of the things you guys had talked about.
Right, because Marco said he'd pay it, didn't he?
Yeah, Marco did.
Yeah, I do believe we agreed to that.
I'm just trying to remind you because it's been a while.
I mean, I guess we could also leverage Vrock after that, because Vrock was the one that wanted those codes. The question was why? What is he doing? Is he working in Ukraine's best interest, or is he doing something selfish for money? I think we need to determine that too.
How many of these people has our boy worked with?
How many of which people has who worked?
The NPC. What's his
which
name?
NPC?
The NPC. Your NPC.
Vrock?
Oh, Arthur.
Arthur. How many of these people from this city has Arthur worked with?
Arthur has met Marco and Miaznik, and that's it.
Oh, okay.
So the other question is, did Vlada or Miaznik, do they use Vrock as a Ripper Doc?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
And I'll just assume that that's an in-character question, and they will answer in character and say, no, he is very new, and prior to weeks, a thing of weeks, they had never seen him as a Ripper Doc before. And based on what they've heard from you. Vlada says that, and oh, by the way, he's not been back. And
Who's not been back?
Vrak has not been back. So, it doesn't seem like he's really trying to do that as a business. Maybe that was part of the whole trying to set up Satine, which, by the way, Satine, even the name is from Moulin Rouge.
Mm-hmm. Nice.
So when you say Vrak hasn't been back, that means that he's not been back to the club?
That's correct. The Purple Demon.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a favorite club of Lada's.
Does Vlada know if he's been working out anywhere else?
She hasn't heard, no. And like he kind of came out of nowhere, was there a short time, and now he's gone.
Shoot. So, if we wanted someone tracked down in the city, I mean, I know we just tracked the singer down, but that we had something to go off of there. All right, we'll have to go to the Purple Demon at some point and ask management there, because he had to be paying something to use their back room. Maybe they know where he might be. It's a place to start, anyways. And to be honest, we can see if the gang is there. If so, then we can make contact there also.
Fair enough.
Sounds good.
All right.
By the way, have we seen Victoria again since getting back here?
You have not.
I will ask Marco. By the way, what was with Victoria? She was very abrasive.
That's just her nature. She does small things and then she's off to her own world. She's always been that way, but she's nevertheless helpful.
Very good. I will ask Vlado, do you want to go to the Purple Demon?
Of course, that would be so totally awesome.
I will look at Miaznik, say, are you going to come this time?
He gets a nod from Marco, and he sets down his cricket bat and points at the door.
What, you mean cricket bat wouldn't be allowed in the club? Why not? That's not reasonable at all. That's me, out of character, saying that, not in character. Okay. Do you two have any other ideas, or you think this is good for trying to find the I don't want to make decisions for the group. It was just an idea.
No, I think this is good.
So we're trying to find Vrak to ask him why he wanted the codes?
Yeah, that's the first thing, and then the second thing is finding the gang, the booster gang, to repay them.
The voiceless.
The voiceless for Horizon.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, I'm on board with that.
Alrighty. Marco goes over to a terminal, does something with a credit stick, and comes back and hands that to Orist and says, here you go. That's the money she needs.
Okay, but what are we going to do about her eyes? Seriously, are we going to erase them?
He says, I don't know. He says, that's information on there. Information is power.
But it's also power that's putting the love of your life in danger.
how are they going to know it was erased? He said we should probably just give them the eyes back. That's the only way they'll know for sure.
Are you going to take her to a Ripper Doc to get her another set of eyes?
I can do that.
Okay. Is she all right with that?
I mean, it means that she lives, right?
Yeah, I've been blind for a really long time. I like seeing, but I don't like seeing with this price on my head. If we can just give the eyes back, that's fine. And especially if, I don't know, it would be great if we could give them like the info back, but like wrong or something. I don't know how people do stuff like that, but if we give it to them blank, then they might think that we erased and took the data or something, and then they'd still be after me, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if we gave them the eyes back with the data on it, then they wouldn't need me. But maybe we could give them the wrong data or something. I don't know. It's a video. How do you change the video?
I'm not familiar with such things.
If only there was a tech character in the party.
This party is not. Had I gleaned that this was a possibility, I probably would have had Z teach find his home.
I like Z teach.
I do too.
And it, you know, it really tore me up to have
Una. Yeah, I can tell how torn you are. You can't even remember his name.
I said it. But I mean, it was just narratively, it was the right direction.
It really was. Yeah.
It was.
But it was like, darn it, I don't want to lose this character.
I felt like Bilbo when I was standing on that precipice, or when DT was standing on that precipice to go home, and he's like, no, these people don't have a home, so I'll stay here.
So Vlada says, I know somebody that's good with videos. Maybe we can talk to her.
So, out of character, I'm confused.
Yes. I'm listening.
I'm trying to sort this. So, we've got the creds to pay the voiceless. The voiceless don't care about the eyes.
They do not.
Vrock is the one that cares about the eyes.
Yes.
And Vrock's not here. So why are we going through the process of trying to... I mean, if we were going to give Vrock the... There's only like two options here. Either actually, there's a third option, but it's a lot more...
Well, the thing to think about, here's what you need to think about, right? Is one, how much do you care at this point that people are hunting Satine?
Right.
So if you decide that you care about that, then who is hunting Satine?
Which is Vrock.
And?
The Warlord.
No, the Warlord has sent the voiceless.
No.
Because the voiceless are...
The Warlord wants her as a trophy.
Okay. But I thought the voiceless were specifically sanctioned by Orloff to run in the community because they have modifications, etc. So they're basically his gang.
That is an assumption that you stated during a play session that I did not correct.
Okay. But I mean, Vrock either wants the information for good things or for bad things.
Daniel,
Right.
look at the screen. It's been a while, so I'm being nice and reminding you of things.
Yeah, I remember those 3 people were in the video. They're in the base.
Yeah. But Daniel ran into them, and there was conversation about them.
And they were looking for someone. It's been such a long time.
And if you remember, the guy with the pakul, which is the hat,
Right.
that's a pakul. He is Orloff's hunter, investigator, inspector kind of guy.
Right.
And the other 2 people are his sidekicks. So
They were in the video that we saw.
Right.
they were in the video.
And she, the girl with the eyes, wanted nothing to do with them.
Mm-hmm.
But they're Orloff's men, so that makes sense.
So again, the question is who is hunting for her and why?
Right. So again, I'm the only one I'm concerned about at the moment for conversation purposes is Vrock. Either Vrock wants the information for good things, in which case we want to give him the codes, or he wants them for bad things, in which we don't want to give him codes. But Vrock seems.
Oh, go ahead.
But Vrock doesn't necessarily seem like he's the most pressing issue.
Okay.
The most pressing issue is the gang, number 1, and number 2, Orloff. I don't know that we can do anything about Orloff. Because even if we are we going to give the eyes to Orloff's men?
So that was the third one I was talking about. We can deliver them anonymously to Orloff's men, and say, we've been watching the Ross for a while, and he's been trying to get these eyes for this reason. We want no part in your war, and just leave it anonymous. And then Ross will be at the mercy of Orloff. Now, yes, we're kind of feeding somebody to the wolves that may be a rebel, but we can't find him either.
Well,
if he's not already dead.
Well, we haven't tried looking yet, so we should do that first, I think. But I'm just questioning whether we really need to change the video files on the eyes right now until we know more.
Okay.
I mean,
I understand that.
I'd say in the meantime, fit Satine with new eyes, get her so that she can see, and then we can decide what to do with the eyes once we've taken care of the gang.
Once she's no longer in the equation.
Right.
Okay. All right. Marco looks up and says, "What about a person that wants to meet you? When do you want to meet them?"
This was regarding information?
I just know a guy that sells weapons that wanted to meet you guys. I get weapons from him on occasion.
Yeah.
See, that was a plot. That was a thread that we had totally forgotten.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Over the Christmas break.
But didn't he originally bring Arthur into this under the assumption that he had information? Did we ever resolve what that was? Or was this the guy that was supposed to have the information?
So, and again, because it's been a while, when you met Arthur at the where the host was, had been. originally Arthur told you, um, I know a guy that wants to introduce us to somebody. We need to go meet a guy. You went to Donetsk. When you got there, Marco said, "Hey," and the other thing is, well, when you got there, Arthur's contact outside of Donetsk said, "Hey, Marco isn't giving us weapons anymore." So
Oh, I thought that was
right,
flipped. Okay.
right. And so what happened is while you were going, um, this whole Satine thing happened. So the original thing was let's go meet a guy, and while you were on the way to go meet a guy, the Satine thing happened. And so you solve the Satine thing, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, this guy wants to meet you," which again became kind of rose up to be a priority again.
Okay. So yeah, I say we'll meet with them as soon as we get back from the club.
All right. Um. Okay. So great. All right. So Marco
Um,
kind of shrugs and head points at the door. Yes, Sveta.
I will mention, I don't want to stay in the city any longer than I have to. I left my armor outside to be incognito, and there were a couple times in the last fight where it got a little risky.
It was fine.
It's fine if you want to be dealing with Svarog again.
Well, now that I know about it, I won't be the one dealing with Swalrog.
Speaking of which, remind me to ask you about that later.
Okay.
So are you guys off to the Purple Demon?
Yes.
Yes.
Who's coming with us?
Vlada and
Oh, that's the wrong house.
We're back to the vampire's house.
I know. I thought that was a different map.
wow, that's a long city block right there.
Yeah. Let me find. Where the heck did I put that?
Just that then.
Yes.
How did you know that was Swabog? Did you hear a voice? Did something talk to you?
He's communicated with me before.
When he communicates with you, how does he communicate with you?
Right there.
It's both a voice and a feeling.
Is this how your faith works? So bullet train?
My
Like
The faith we talked
his-
about with the angels and the afterlife. Does your protector talk to you as well?
no. Generally not. That doesn't mean that they don't exist. That's the definition of faith.
Right. It's arguable then that Sveta's belief system is not based on faith. It's just interesting. That's all.
Well,
Svarog does not commune with most people. The Kuznai are blessed.
that's her way of saying she's better than us normal people.
I'm better than the little people.
I'm grinning as I say that, by the way. But to be honest, Z-Teach, if you think about it, the encounter that we had on that airship is probably the first time in my lifetime that I have had tangible proof of my faith.
So, other than the fact that I was there for a moment, we've seen so many weird and strange and wondrous things that come from other worlds. Couldn't these things just be from another world, a world where we don't have the breach for it, the rift for it?
I hate you so much that you're making me play this side of the coin.
My answer would be no, because my peoples have communed with Svarog and the angels since before rifts happened.
Well,
Oh, really?
So did my people, but we just never received responses that I'm aware of.
Your people have never had any sorts of miracles?
There are miracles, and then there's a difference of God directly speaking to us.
Well,
And
Maybe that
Archer
is how
says.
God speaks with you.
Archer says, "Look," he says, there was a time where, the old texts talk about Abraham, and God talked directly to Abraham.
right, I'm just saying I've never experienced anything like that in my lifetime until that airship. The Japanese that I spent so much time with have a completely different set of gods than us, but theirs are just as valid, and they do receive sometimes direct communication. I have my swords are part of their belief system, and they are powered by magic of the gods.
Hmm.
And even though I do not follow those gods, they still work. They still aid me. So, I mean, faith is just believing in something that you can't prove. But now that we experience those blimps, you're right. Could they be from another dimension or universe? Yes, but that's what heaven already is. It's where we go
Interesting.
after we die. At least that's what my people believe.
And I'd say this conversation probably lasted until we got to the club.
Fair enough. So you get there, and there's a big guy manning the door, and Vlada and Miaznik are ahead of you guys, and she smiles and touches the guy on the cheek, and he opens the rope, and Vlada motions for you guys to come in with her. She kind of bounces.
So
And,
we all go in.
So the club seems to be really hopping. There's smoke and lasers and thump 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 rave music, and so you walk in the door. What do you do?
Well,
Vlada and Miaznik head to the dance floor.
yeah, I figured. Are the voiceless here?
They are where they were before. They're up here.
Okay. And is Rock here?
He is not. And you see Mr. Smoky Throat, voiceless himself, is actually up there.
I will walk up to the table.
They all stand in a very ready stance.
I put my hands up, give him a little salute, and I will say, I have business to speak of. May we sit?
A lot of our, well, let me go back to that. As always, Mr. Golden Arm here doesn't talk. The guy with the sword on his shoulder, which is Tyr, by the way, Tyhr. He says, he looks at Voiceless, and then he looks at you, and he says, we're missing Voiceless because of you.
Tried to kill us. We defended ourselves. So, would you like to talk business?
What do you have? They're still standing.
It's fine. So you are looking for a singer because she owes you money, right?
Satine, she has a loan. She needs to pay.
And I will hold out the cred stick.
He takes it.
Paying her loan.
He takes it, and he looks at it, nods to Voiceless. They kind of look at each other for a moment, and he says, "You're good for now, but I wouldn't be in the city long."
Don't plan on
Why?
it.
Where are you going?
You need to not be in the city very long.
Yeah, he was talking to you, C-Teach. The Ripper Doc that was over there.
Brock,
Have you seen him?
no?
Have any idea where he might have rabbit holed to?
I don't know why I was here. We didn't like it very much. We only tolerated it because he works for Orloff. I don't know what he has going on, but he's not been back.
Well, I think we'll execute on getting out of town as quick as possible. Just got a few loose ends to tie up, and then we'll be on our way.
They just kind of stand silently.
And
Mr. Not Talking actually winks at you after the guy says that. After you say that.
I'll nod to him, and then we'll head to the bar, I guess, and try to find out where the manager's office is, or how to speak with management. Or maybe
So you're here?
Sveta can do that. Sveta, can you find it?
Sveta walks up and puts on her best Karen impression. I would like to speak with your manager.
The right. The woman behind the bar says, "I'm the only one you need to talk to. What do you need?"
We're looking for Vrock. Have you seen him?
Not recently.
Do you know who we could get in touch with to find him?
No. he came here, wanted to rent, and he rented, and he's not been back. I don't know. I'll find someone else to take his space if he's not going to come back, though. I'm not holding it for him.
Phew.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Was that a
Anything
chain?
y'all want to ask?
I think he sneezed himself into oblivion. Did you feel an earthquake there, Chris? Oh, he's back.
Sorry about that.
Now, see, that's funny. I was on a different screen, and so I thought Chris sneezed, and I looked up in time to see on the stream that John sneezed, so I thought it was a chain reaction sneeze. And then Daniel was saying, I think they sneezed so hard that he fell off the internet. And I'm like, Chris or John? And then I realized he was talking about John.
Yeah, sorry. That kind of came from nowhere.
That was a strong sneeze.
It was a strong sneeze. All right. Where were we? Yeah, I'm not going to hold it for him. If he doesn't come back, I'll rent it to somebody else.
So I walk up around that point in time, and I'll say to Sveta, "What'd you find out?" Yeah, boots and pants and boots and pants and boots and pants.
Nothing. They haven't seen him. They haven't heard from him. They have no way to contact.
Did they know that he was betraying Orloff using this space?
Are you saying that loud enough for them to hear?
For her to hear, yeah.
What are you talking about?
Sveta asked if she knew where Rock was, and they said no, and then they said, "But I'm
the
happy
bartender
to rent."
asked you, what did you say?
I said, "Oh, are you the person, the manager person?"
I'm good enough.
Oh, okay. Well, then, did you know he was using this space to betray Orloff, the warlord? I heard he runs things around here. We're new in town. I'm not sure, but turns out he was doing hack ripper doc jobs on people so that he could use them to spy. It's bad news. It's pretty important we find him. Don't you think? I probably shouldn't actually.
Yeah, I think I need to find him too, but I've no idea where he is.
Did he pay cash?
He did.
What about his bodyguard? You ever seen him before, or know where he might be?
Rota?
Yeah.
He came in with Rock.
Never seen him before, huh?
I hadn't. About 5 feet down on the bar, there's a guy with do you know the term drugstore cowboy? Mm-hmm. So it's not a term, but just so you kind of know what I mean, you look at him, and if you knew that term, you might apply it. Your first, whatever the translated thought would be, is your thought is when you look at him is drugstore Cossack.
Oh, he's actually a Cossack.
He's a Cossack off Wish.
He's got the haircut. He's kind of got a drugstore cowboy is somebody who's not a cowboy, somebody who just wears boots and a hat, right, and has never seen a horse in his life.
So he's got the haircuts, but definitely not a Cossack.
but probably has people in his inner circle convinced he is. Anyway, he kind of tries to stand up off his stool, but nearly falls, and comes over and says, and slurring his words, and I'm not good at doing the slurred drunk thing, so I'm not going to try, but he says, you buy me a drink, I'll tell you where I saw him. And he's, by the way, trying to push his face about an inch away from yours while he talks, and you can very drunk, unpleasant voice.
Grab him by the shoulders and move him backwards slightly. And I will say, I will buy you a drink if you tell me where.
You hear? He's buying me a drink.
If you tell us where.
I saw him, and he holds up his hand and moves his pinky, and you can hear like servos when he moves it. He says, I saw him over at the Dragon Club. Well, near it's by the, where's my drink? Not the Dragon Club. He's not in the club. There's a store. It's it's close to the Dragon Club, like 3 away, 2. 3 or 2. But he works in there sometimes. He puts his hand up. Where's my drink? I need a drink. And he kind of loses his balance and falls a little bit, right? And kind of catches himself. And
oh, I've still got him.
Yeah, I realize. I'm just letting you know.
Okay. Yeah,
You're probably the only reason he's not a pool on the ground.
Is there a open stool nearby?
Yes.
I will plant him on the stool.
You can see he kind of focuses for like the first time, and he looks at you and he says, "Oh, are you a Cossack too?"
Mm-hmm.
There's not many real Cossacks around.
Mm-hmm. And I'll motion for the bartender. And I will say, so, you need to find Vrock as well. You coming with us?
I got a bar to run. You do your thing. I'll do mine. She slaps a drink down in front of this guy and looks at you and says 10 credits. Okay. Update your sheet.
Oh, I will.
He starts drinking his drink. She just looks at him and rolls her eyes.
And I will... Well... I will actually find my way to Vlada, and while everyone's dancing, I literally just walk up there, not moving or dancing. And I will say, Vlada, do you know where the Dragon Club is?
I do. That's such a drag of a club. I don't like the music. It's just old people go there.
Do you know of any store near the Dragon Club where Ripper Doc might be working out of?
Yeah, it's just a couple down from there on the same side of the street. I wouldn't go there, though. I don't trust those people.
Well, that's where we gotta go. So
don't let them touch you.
Okay.
It's not the Dragon Club. It's the Dragon. Graggin. There's Dragon. Old people.
So I will use the comlink phone thing to order Crazy Taxi to the Dragon Club.
All right. 10 credits later, you're there.
Minus 10 credits to Dragon Club. Okay. And then I'll start looking for the shop 2 or 3 down that Vlada was talking about.
You do see a shop that's kind of looks closed. It's got some mannequins in the front, but all the shops you see are brightly lit and advertising, and this one seems to be not advertising.
Can you describe the building a little bit more? Is it like a row house? Is it a singular structure that stands on its own?
Well, as soon as my finger quits disappearing,
which will be
looks
never.
like this.
It's a finger-shaped building.
Do you see my background?
No, where he's pointing. Look where he's pointing.
Oh.
For a second, I thought he was doing the shape of the building too. Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out is it like a cliff, where people walk up to do business at the top? I was like, wow, okay. Got it. So it is surrounded by other buildings is the short answer. Or one big building. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you're in the middle of Cyberpunkville.
So when you say it looks like it's closed, does that mean that there is a roll down door in front of it, or it just the lights are off and the door is in the door? That's why I'm trying to get more idea of what this looks like.
No, it doesn't look. You don't see like there. Orloff believes he has. Cybernetics are just for him.
Right.
So it's a bold move to be in the city advertising anything to do with cybernetics.
Right, which is why there's no advertising.
So, no, you don't see a roll chain. You don't see anything like that. You just see... The point is, it doesn't have bright lights, and...
I get that.
It's not saying cybernetics here.
Understand. I'm physically asking you about the front of the storefront. Is it like a bodega storefront?
It's a typical storefront. It's glass on two sides. You can't see into the shop, and there's a door there, a metal door.
Is the door recessed, or is it flush, or that?
It's recessed a little bit.
Okay. And how many people are out here?
Out here?
Mm-hmm.
Is there as many people standing out on the street as there are in the picture?
Yes. The whole city's crowded. The only time it's not been crowded was when you went to that hotel. That was the aberration. And even then, when you just went around the block, everybody was kind of laying on the ground in that one alley. And that was just because there was cover there. They weren't quite getting rained on.
You know what? Do I have... No, I did not get Frock's information. Okay. Yeah, we'll knock on the... I'll ask Vet to knock on the door.
Funk, funk, funk.
The first time you hit it swings open. I mean, not crazy hard, but
Great.
It wasn't locked or even closed completely.
Okay. Well.
And you see when you walk in, you kind of get... It looks like the front reception area for a tattoo parlor. Matter of fact, there's advertisements for tattoos.
Lots of tattoo parlors in this town.
You should think about getting one. Maybe an anvil.
That'd be funny.
Right here. Um. Well,
I'd like to see a tattoo parlor that could give me a tattoo.
An MDC tattoo gun.
you'll have to forge it for them first. That's
Give me a
hilarious.
regular one and I'll bless it.
That's exactly it. Yeah, you have to forge an MDC tattoo gun.
Best side quest ever.
Well, let's go in and see if we can find whoever's in here.
The girl behind the desk kind of looks at you with a, because you're just standing there.
Rock here?
Do you have an appointment?
Yes.
She just, okay. She goes beyond a curtain, and sticks her head back out. Who are you?
Satine.
Okay. She barely gets her head back around the curtain, and Vrock sticks his head out. Just a second. Okay. You see Brock stick his head out, and
I wave at him.
Where's Satine?
Safe?
Safe.
We need to have a conversation.
He backs up, and Verota sticks his head out.
I wave at
You can
Rota.
You can talk to me.
Well,
We have some information that Orloff might find interesting. If Brock doesn't want to talk to us, that's fine. We can go find other people to talk to. And Z-Teach, trying to be a badass, will turn around and start, like, swaggering towards the door.
I will follow his lead.
You hear Brock's voice. Come back here. We'll talk.
Okay. Now turn around and follow Z-Teach's lead and swagger back towards the back.
He leads you to a back area that looks like a cross between a emergency room and a car maintenance area, and actually like a computer help desk. It's like a mashup of all three. And Brock's just standing there, and he says, What?
I really want to believe you're not a bad guy, but I'm not a fan of anyone who puts people's lives to risk without their knowledge.
And I just want to know why.
Why
Because
what?
Why you
What do you
do
think
it
you
in the
know?
first place.
What do you think you know?
Well, how about the fact that you pimped out an unsuspecting girl to give her sight? Second of all, you harvested codes for security. Third, you caught some stuff on tape that Orloff's really not going to be happy about. And I want to know why. What's the end goal?
I have my reasons.
Yeah, well, that's not going to be good enough because you caused Satine to be placed in a whole lot of jeopardy, physical and emotional and ongoing. And B, you could get some help depending on what you're trying to do, or you're doing something super evil.
So I'm just going to tell you, yeah, I'm doing super evil stuff.
Well, yeah, pretty much.
Look, I have my reasons.
I think that's the answer we needed.
Okay. Time to start combat.
No. ZC should put a finger up to his ear, and he'll say, "All right, he doesn't want to. He's not in on it. Go ahead and send him." Orloff will be contacting you shortly.
Look, I just want to replace the guy.
With yourself?
Why not? I can be in charge.
You couldn't even do this right. I mean, you used someone's lack of eyesight to prostitute them out to get the information you wanted. How is that any better than Orloff?
Just give me the eyes and it worked.
And what's your plan?
I have a plan.
I'm
not telling you my plan. Next thing I know, you'll be warlord. No thanks.
Once you're warlord, what do you plan to do differently than Orloff?
What do
I
you
think
mean?
he just wants the power. I don't think he plans on doing anything different.
Is this just a selfish power grab, or is there some reason?
Look, everybody here is looking out for number one. That's all I'm doing. Did you see chat there, Daniel?
Zitish was so hoping that this guy was more than just out for himself.
Yeah.
But hearing this, I don't think that's the case.
No.
Zitish shakes his head sadly and then nods.
I'm out of here. Screw you guys. I'll find Satine. I'll get those eyes.
I'm going to go ahead and pop my sword and...
Yeah.
I think we're rolling initiative.
Yeah.
If he was an honorable man, we would support him.
Yep.
You want the ace or the 5 there, Shinkansen?
I'll take the ace. Thank you.
At least I always give you your option.
Yes, thank you for that.
All right. So Shinkansen with the ace.
I will...
Currently, you're in a small room. The room is probably 10 by 12. So everything is within your pace. Where the Verota is between you and Vrock. And Vrock has his back to you, heading towards a door at the back of the room.
I cannot remember. Are there opportunity attacks in this game?
No.
Okay.
Like bonuses from attacking from behind?
No, I just don't want to get swung at by moving past somebody.
But he didn't move past you. I mean, Verota was between you two the whole time, and he moved away, so it wouldn't have been there anyway.
No, you're hearing it from the other direction. I want to move past Verota. I don't want to get swung at when I move past Verota. Not
okay,
that
you're going to have to physically. He is literally. I mean, the room is huge. You will come in physical contact to move past him.
But there's no That's why I'm asking. Am
No,
I going
I'm
to
just yeah.
Am
Yeah,
I going to
you're
be
good.
able to move past him without being
Yeah,
attacked?
I'm going to make you roll an agility roll so you
Okay.
don't trip or whatever.
Sure.
His whole reason, raison d'etre is, not allowing people to get past him.
Right. But he didn't get an ace.
Yeah, that is correct. So go ahead and make an agility roll.
I will. I gotta open my character sheet. That's Svetas. I should not roll Svetas. Worst.
Yeah, I bet you have a better agility.
I bet I do too. All right, here we go. Agility.
All right, you're past him.
I mean, can I not kill him? I do not want to kill him, is the short answer. Is there like bludgeoning damage instead of skewering him on my blade? Can I use the hilt to knock him out or something?
There is non-lethal damage in this.
There is.
Okay, well that's
there
what
absolutely
I think-
is. We did that before.
I think you roll it the same, and you just choose not to.
Okay.
I think that was it. I think there was actually an opposed roll. We did this before. Let me see. A person who wants to beat someone up without killing them can choose to do non-lethal damage. This requires the attacker use only his fists or blunt weapon of some sort, your hilt.
Mm-hmm.
Edged weapons may be used if they have a flat side, but this subtracts -1 from the fighting roll. Non-lethal damage causes wounds as usual, but if a character is rendered incapacitated, he's knocked out for 1d6 hours instead. Non-lethal wounds are otherwise treated exactly as lethal wounds. This means it's much easier to render an extra unconscious than a wild card. This is intentional and should work well for most genres, blah, blah.
Okay.
So in other words, it's going to work exactly the same.
Are either
Yeah, that's
of
not
those enough to hit him? I don't know. He's not armored. He's so okay. Then I will re-roll.
A 4 is still a basic success.
Okay, got it.
At anything.
Can I? You'll have
Do
to
I need to
steal Benny. Yeah, I don't know why this never works for me.
Okay.
Yes, let it go. Let it go.
Does
So
one Benny let you re-roll both of them? Since it's
No.
a
It does
one
not.
action?
No, I'm re-rolling the katana. There. How about a raise?
You got a raise?
Yeah.
Are we waiting for something?
I'm
Is that
waiting
a-
for him to roll damage.
Oh, yeah. I was waiting to make sure that it hit. Okay, great.
Oh, I said you got a raise. I thought that implied you hit.
It didn't sound very sure. You were like,
Yeah,
you got a raise?
yeah. I thought you were asking too. I'm like, yes. I said yes.
No, you got a raise. So you hit him, and he slumps to the ground.
Okay.
All right.
How's big boy Vrota feeling out there?
And the last thing I will say is, Vrota, I know you're hired. I got no beef. I have no issues with you. But it's your call. And I just shrug at him.
Yeah. Let it go. Let it go. All right.
Can I hold my action until after Sveta?
Yes.
I have to run to the bathroom.
Of course you can.
Oh wow, yeah, I didn't realize I was last. I was looking for my turn order thing.
What's your armor? Shin Forest?
It is uh, total toughness is 12.
All right. He you're actually shaken. He
Okay.
he he pulls a giant pistol and shoots this ball of plasma that hits you in the chest, and you're shaken.
Okay.
So, Sveta.
Um, she'll pull out her hammer and tell Vro to, why don't you pick on someone your own size? And
He is your size.
yeah, I remember.
All right. Go ahead and roll.
Yeah. Is a
That does
5
not
enough?
hit. No, does not.
Oh, I'm able to swing twice, so let's see. Will 6 hit?
No.
Let it go.
I dropped a Benny, but it's like lost on the edge of the screen. I
Yeah.
can't see
Oh, I
it.
see it.
How about a 9?
That will hit.
Alright. Can I do? I should probably do non-lethal on him as well.
Well, you didn't declare it before you rolled, which you need to.
Oh, okay. Well
Um,
then,
he's
guess he's getting some
shaken.
hurt. All right.
He is shaken, and we'll wait to see what Z-Teach is going to do.
Actually, while we're waiting for Z Teach, let's take a quick 120-second break.
I'll be
Sounds
right
good.
back.
Get up on your chair. Get up on your chair. Welcome back, Daniel.
Thank you, sir. How you doing?
Good. I'm watching my bitrate plummet. I gotta call them. It's no bueno. I should be sitting at 6 megs upload, and I'm sitting at 1.4.
Das
That-
ist no gut.
Yeah, that's bitrate. I mean, I get, 30 up, but not consistently. Comes in spurts. And that's no good for the streaming. What are we going to do with these two guys?
I have an idea.
Good. It's your turn, by the way.
Okay. I figured, because Zeta's rolls were last.
Yes.
I'm back.
Welcome back, Mr. Kater.
Hey! Okay, so I would like to cast Greater Slumber on the bodyguard.
Okay.
Slumber. It's frustrating because usually I put these in alphabetical order. But they are not in alphabetical order. There you are. I'm going to Benny that, and thank you for the Benny. Yeah, I'll take that.
Okay.
So
Wow.
he needs to make a spirit roll at a -4. As Z-Teach reaches into a pouch for some of the dried leaves and small snail casings that he got from the Cossack shaman, and crushes them in his hand and blows them in the face of the guard, while speaking strange archaic words.
He just looks at you for a minute and blinks, and it's kind of a weird thing. You see parts of his body kind of slump while other parts don't. And he does eventually fall to the ground.
But it's almost as if he was trying to be propped up by his cyber parts.
Yes.
That's a cool image, John. That's a cool image. Okay. And
I mean,
then,
it would have resembled him having a stroke, I think. Like the one half of his face just droops.
yeah, and then Z-Teach will move a little bit further into the side. It's for an hour, as long as you don't mess with him.
Okay.
Does it
Well,
look
Brock
like...
is knocked out and Verota's sleeping.
Oh, okay. So, if Verota is sleeping and Brock is knocked out, this is a Ripper Dock area, right?
Yes.
Okay. Are there like any patient pillows or dirty blankets or anything like that?
Yeah, there's something like that,
All
sure.
right. ZT will roll up like something like that and put it underneath the giant sleeping bodyguard because he was only doing his job.
Okay.
The question is what to do with Rock.
By the way, just as an aside, Sveta, you would notice this. Other people obviously noticed it, but you were hanging on to the hammer. You did 25 points of mega damage, and all you did was you shook him.
Mm.
So make of that of what you will. I'm sorry, what was that, Mark?
No, the question is what are we going to do with... I need to make a roll, right?
You do.
Yeah. I got to find my character sheet. There it is.
Vigor. You're
That's
good.
a success.
That is a success.
Yeah. Orist is like rubbing his hand over his chest, and he's looking down at Rock, and he's like, what are we going to do with this guy?
If we leave him and he wakes up, he's just going to go back to his original plans.
Agreed. Is there a non-lethal option here?
How do you change someone's aspirations?
Archer, the guy we always forget is hanging around.
God, you scared me, Arter. I didn't even know you were there.
Says if he was working for Orloff and Orloff was looking for Satine and Vrock is hanging out here and not in Orloff's headquarters, what do you think that means?
I'm beginning to wonder if he's even connected to Orloff.
I don't know. Enough people says he worked for him, and a talented cyber doc like this guy. I mean, that's definitely somebody that would be employed by Orloff. I mean, Satine's eyes were done very well. So the guy, regardless of anything else, he does have talent.
Right. But is there a way that we can have him use those talents to the betterment of Ukraine rather than whatever it is he's doing, trying to seize control for himself? That's where I don't have an answer. Could your men have use of him?
How could we trust him? Liana, the girl who is running the front of the tattoo parlor, runs into the back, and before she kind of sees what's going on, she says, Bogomol. Bogomol's in the alley.
Do you know what that word means?
You've heard it before. I don't know if you remember. Vlada said it.
Stand by.
Actually, Z-Teach is the one that heard it, not you.
Oh. I'm pretty sure.
Is that one of the Orloff's men's name?
You were there when Vlada said that, yeah.
Yeah, it was the name of the one with the hat. The sailor. The one that looks like a sailor.
Yeah,
or a steampunk detective.
Yeah, the Paku. To me, it looks like an Afghan hat.
Oh, that may be. Yeah, that's a good. I think, like old English steamboat captain.
That's actually what I was thinking too. Well,
Yeah. To me, it's this hat.
oh, yeah, no, that's totally not the hat that I was seeing. I'm
And
with Daniel.
considering we're not far from that part of the world.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
sure. And you're the GM who
Right.
pictures that image.
Yep. But I'm totally with Daniel. I totally thought it was like a skipper's hat.
Oh yeah, no. Um. There you go.
This is no bueno. I mean, we have problems now.
I think the pea coat is helping with the skipper captain
Yeah, kind of.
image.
I see.
And the
I
scarf.
can see that.
It's not a scarf. I get that it's like a chemtrail or whatever, but it looks like a scarf trailing behind him too.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think we should just walk out the front of the store.
I would go out the back.
That's where Bogomol is.
I thought he's in the front.
They just said he's in the alley.
He's in the street, in front of the store,
Oh, that's not okay.
and I think he might be coming here. He's been going in and out of all the stores on the street. He just came out of the Dragon.
All right. Well,
Be honest talking.
Is there a back door we can see?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The one
He's
that
heading
Brock
towards-
was walking towards.
Well, let's pick Frock up and I'll put him over my shoulder and we'll exit the back door. And are we just going to leave the bodyguard there sleeping?
He's got a pillow under him. He looks like he's taking a purposeful nap.
Okay.
There's a picture of him.
Innocent and sleeping.
Okay.
I mean, I can pick him up, but would picking him up awake him?
So Archer looks at you and says, if we leave him here, Bogomol will find him. And Satine recorded what she saw in her eyes.
Right, but he doesn't have any knowledge of that.
If I don't know how this cybernetic eye thing works, but if Satine's eyes record things, he doesn't look like he has normal eyes.
Oh, I see what you're saying. That's a good point. All right, yeah, try and pick him up. Let's see if he wakes up.
Okay.
Gently.
Can I just pick him up, or do you want a strength check, or what do you?
Yeah, you can pick him up. But he's heavy. I mean, your character can put a small horse on her shoulder, and he weighs the weight of a small horse.
Okay.
He probably weighs what you do. You just picked yourself up.
Okay. Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
And then we'll close the door behind us and saunter at a quick trot down the street.
Okay.
Down the alley, I should say.
Yes.
Alley.
The alley is full of pipes. The occasional, they don't go to all the way to the ground, but you see the emergency escape stairway things, pipes, doors into various things. The alley is small enough that Sveta could almost touch her fingers on both sides. So it's probably 7.5 feet wide. and it's not straight. It meanders.
Well, I whisper as I'm carrying Frock through this area back. Well, what now?
And there's people everywhere. They're mostly, it looks like homeless, just kind of sleeping in cardboard boxes and blankets and whatnot.
I'll use the contact thing to call a taxi to whatever the nearest street is that we're approaching at the end of this alley.
Okay, you pop out in a in an area very much like where you've been, and the taxi is sitting there waiting.
Yep, and we'll get in. All of us get in.
It's gonna be difficult to get. You're gonna wake up the bodyguard trying to get him in the car.
Oh,
That's
really?
enough jostling.
Yeah,
You're gonna wake him up.
Yeah.
What are we gonna do, gents and lady?
I check Vrosk's pockets for a cred stick.
He teaches the answer is to rob him.
Yes.
He has to have a cred stick on him, right?
Yes.
I tuck it into the bodyguard's clothing, like into his pocket,
Okay.
and then I leave the bodyguard.
Okay.
Yep, and I'll load Rock into the back seat, and we'll go to Satine's apartment complex.
Okay. What are we doing with Verota?
No, we left him.
Just a suggestion. You don't have to. Up to you.
What?
So you're going to Satine's apartment?
Yes.
Should we pull Verota's eyes out?
I was thinking about that, actually.
That would probably wake him up.
Yeah, I would think so. And I mean, in the long run, this is kind of a win-win, right? If the Bogomol does find him and watches what happens, then
we're either gonna have to agree to leave him or we're gonna have to kill him. Because if we just take his eyes, he knows who we are and he'll just tell him.
Well, yeah, but he won't.
His eyes aren't the only problem.
Okay, so Zikish will speak up and say, okay, just so that we're all on the same page, I am not okay with taking his brain.
Not his brain, his eyes.
Yes, but Sveta's saying that he knows us anyway. His eyes don't make a difference.
Well, I'm not alright with killing an unarmed person who is just doing his job.
I agree. I'm hoping that his extra pay will keep him quiet for a little while while we figure out what to do with his boss.
Did you find a credit stick?
Yes, and
Yeah,
I tucked it into his jacket.
Okay.
These people of your world seem very occupied with money in one form or another. It's kind of strange.
It's strange for me as well. I don't spend very much time in the city. But yes, it has, throughout the planet's history, it's been a thing. Okay, so I'm going to load Vrock in, make sure Sveta and Z-Teach are in the car. The door is open for me. I'm going to give Rota one hard smack across the face, jump into the cab, and go.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was to wake him up, not damage him.
Yeah,
Wait.
no, I got it.
So we're not even. What? All we did was rough Rota up. We're not even taking him with us.
No, you mean Vrock. Vrock's
Vrock.
in the thing.
I'm
Vrock is
getting
in the thing.
so confused.
Yeah, Vrota is the bodyguard.
Okay.
So I smacked the bodyguard to wake him up.
This
so
is
that
Vrota.
Yeah, that's Vrota. And Vrock is the Ripper Doc we like, which is why I'm having a real hard time being mean to him. Because he's so damn likable in the game.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Victor is Vrock.
Yeah. We like
So-
the other world version of him.
Yes, that is correct. So, yes, I backhand Vrota right before leaving so that he wakes up and the homeless don't steal his stuff.
Okay. All right, you guys get in the cab and you're driving away.
Yep.
You didn't say where to.
Yes, I did. Satine's
The
apartment.
cab driver said that.
Oh, I gave the cab driver Satine's address.
What's the address? I didn't get it in the call.
Okay. Stand by one.
I don't know, like 56 Orange
You're so big on specifics.
It's the Orange Via 6 complex, 5th floor, apartment 503.
Outstanding. Good note taking. He says, okay, we're
And
not
step
far.
on it.
He gets you there. It's a 5-minute drive. He says 7 credits.
I give him 7 credits. Minus 7 credits. We go up to apartment 503 on the 6th floor. Or
Yes.
No, on the 5th floor.
5th floor.
And we unlock the door the same way we did before. And go in, lock the door, and deadbolt it behind us. And spend some time.
If you do it the way you did it before, Z-Teach needs to make a roll. It works.
I was already clicking it.
That's funny. So you're in? The door's closed and locked?
Can't have that angry neighbor yelling at us again.
No, not yet. Not yet. We put Vrock on the couch, and I will say to Arthur, well, what do you think?
You kidnap people?
Yeah, I don't know. This whole kidnapping somebody and this guy's, I don't know. He good, bad, indifferent. He's associated with Orloff. That's a problem. I mean, and is Orloff hunting for this guy? Why was Bogomol in the street searching shops?
I don't know, maybe Bogomol was hunting for you.
Well, that's certainly possible. I would be concerning if Bogomol knew I was in the city, though. Um, I don't know what we're gonna do with this guy. I'm not even really sure what our end goal is.
Get over here right
I mean, is he going to be happy? No, we're expecting.
Okay.
now. Sorry about that.
No worries. Sveta and Archer were having a conversation. Sveta
Yep.
kind of said, "What's the plan?" Archer said, "I don't know. This is one of Arloff's men. Good, bad, indifference. It's still whether Orloff likes this guy or not. It's still a problem because it's Orloff's guy, and." As far as making Satine safe, is this guy going to be happy with anything less than getting the codes out of her eyes? So I don't know what our plan is here.
Me either. That's why I thought it best to bring him someone where no one will look for him and also gives us some time.
He actually starts coming to and looks around. He looks up at you, Oris, and he says, "Where have you taken me?
Somewhere safe.
I work for Orloff. I think it's in your interest to let me go."
Well, do you? I mean, you basically tried to do a coup, and we have evidence. So I think it might not be in your best interest.
What do you want?
In a perfect world, none to find a way not to have to kill you.
CC will lean over to Sveta and say, "Wait, I thought we weren't going to kill him."
Well, I think that is dependent on Oris' interrogation.
Oh. ZT will cast the attribute boost slash drain, I think.
Oh.
Where are you? Boost slash lower trait, and he's going to lower this guy's spirit.
All right, you're gonna cast boost and lower his spirit.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
it's boost slash lower trait, so I'm going to cast lower trait.
Okay. Does he get an opposed roll?
So he gets, I believe, he gets a
Spirit roll.
modified spirit. Where are you?
You better treat my daughter well.
Does she have a conversation with herself?
No, with Malcolm. Because the whole family now plays that damn game. But automatically tries to shake off the effects with a spirit roll as a free action at the end of their turns. And it lowers it 2 die types.
It lowers his. So it's is a my. I'm sorry, I was typing to mark it.
So his spirit, if his spirit is normally a D8, then it's
Okay.
a D6, D4. So it's a D4 right now.
Okay. Is there a minus?
No, it just lowers that. If I'd cast the greater version, the mega
Okay.
version, it would have also been a -2.
Okay.
I'm just trying to help with the interrogation.
So Mark, his katana is in brackets because the appropriate, honorable, whatever they would call.
Okay.
I doubt they use the word katana, but they say whatever the appropriate word is there.
Right.
And you're successful, Mr. Zetich.
Okay.
And so that lowers his spirit to what?
Whatever his spirit was, it lowers it 2 steps.
You know what's funny? I processed that as what he was rolling to oppose the cast, not what you were doing to him. So okay, all right.
So he will also, when he rolls spirit at the end of his turn, he will also roll a spirit check with that new die.
Okay, so you lowered it to that, and his opposed roll is the modified roll.
There is no opposed roll.
Oh, I got you. Okay,
Yeah,
that's why I'm confused.
he at the end of his turn, he tries to shake off the effect.
I see. Okay, got it. Got it.
So
I could have been more clear about that. Sorry.
No, it's fine. That was me. I was multitasking and not doing it well. Last question: is there a minus to the roll?
There is no minus.
It's just lower die.
It's just lower die by 2 dice. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
I will ask him, why were you at that place instead of Orloff's lair to begin with?
Huh. I'm surprised that's not. Is that a skill? Let me look up something real quick.
Sure. Would it be investigation? Persuasion?
Yeah, I was looking up interrogate, but I think I'll get there. Make a spirit roll, Mark.
Five.
Okay. He says, I didn't want to be found.
By whom?
Look, I don't know what you think you're going to get by holding me. You should let me go.
By whom?
Make another spirit roll.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use a Benny. Which means
Do
you
I
have
need to steal it?
Yeah, you have to steal it. Let it go. Let it go. So I can roll another bad spirit roll. 5.
Look, I have people looking for me. You probably have people looking for me. Everybody does. You've got no reason to hold me. So either kill me or let me go.
Why shouldn't I take you to Orloff directly? Show him the evidence that we have and show how you tried to throw a coup. Seems like we'd make out pretty well in this. Not you.
You do what you think you need to do, but I think you don't want to see your law either.
I move over to Zetich and Sveta and Artur. You guys got any other questions you want to try? I don't know what to do here, honestly.
Well, my only question is, if he's not going to answer our questions or help in any way, what should we do with them?
Good question.
I don't like leaving people who can track me. She says as she pulls out her hammer.
Zetich, what do your people do in situations like this?
Sveta, when you pull out the hammer, are you doing it in a threatening manner towards him?
Yes.
Make a spirit roll.
We would have one of the higher ups do some memory magic, but I was not. That's a skill much past what I'm capable of.
So you removed their free will?
Only little bits by little bits, but it'll come rushing back before too long.
Then what's the point of doing it in the first place?
So that I can try to help with maybe an interrogation. Make them more pliable.
No, I'm referring to your elders.
Oh no, they would just remove memories or make people or alter memories.
Aye.
He doesn't seem to react to your threatening with the hammer, by the way, Sveta. That's assuming you want to keep that roll.
The problem is my spirit is awful, but I'll give one more go. Hey.
Oh, well, that's better.
Look, just keep her off me, all right? Fine. I wanted to overthrow Orloff. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
As if you hadn't figured that out already. Look.
I mean, we told you that when we came into the store.
Fine. So why are you asking me questions you know the answer to? What do you want from me? Like I said, either kill me or let me go. But I've had enough of this.
Well, you haven't had enough of anything because we haven't made a decision. Do you want us to kill you?
I don't see how it benefits you.
Well, how does
I don't
leaving
see
you
how
alive?
letting you go benefits us.
Yeah, it does. It doesn't in any way, shape, or form. So you staying alive means you have to provide some kind of benefit to us. that outweighs us not leaving you alive, because you not being alive benefits us way more right now. And
So what do you want? You still haven't told me what you want. I've asked you a dozen times, what do you want?
Why are you trying to get the information about Orloff's codes if you work for Orloff?
Because I don't have his codes.
Yes.
How can I break in and kill him if I don't get his codes?
and what about the Splurgorth? Did you know about
He's
that?
not there. That's just an image.
I know that, but did you know about that?
Well, yeah, where do you think we get the parts from? Those come from Atlantis. We trade with them.
What else do we not know about what's in there?
What's in where?
His base.
Make a spirit roll.
Five.
You said you saw what was on the eyes.
Does Orloff know that he's been compromised
what?
at this point?
I think he's looking for me, so I think he knows something.
What's a solution here that makes it so that you stop searching for Satine, because you're not going to get what's on the eyes? Orloff stops searching for Satine, and you're never seen or heard from again. That doesn't involve
I'll leave town.
And where will you go?
Samara. So we're out of character here for a minute. So if you look at the map here and you look at the light green or the orange, which is Orloff's area, right? Donetsk is right about here. And Donetsk has two capital cities. One is Donetsk, and the other is. When Kevin Simbita wrote this game, the supplement, the name of the town was Kubyshev. However, it's reverted back to its historical name, which is Samara. And so right here, Samara is his other city. So which is way outside Ukraine.
So what would you think about taking a trip into the mountains instead?
What's in the mountains?
Not a lot right now. But why did you want to overthrow Orloff? Deep down, what was the real gut reason that you wanted to overthrow Orloff?
Who doesn't want to be in power? He has everything he wants at his fingertips whenever he wants it. Who wouldn't want that?
So
I originally thought that was too easy of an answer, but now I'm thinking it's the actual answer.
Who doesn't? I'm literally saying this in character. Who doesn't think past the end of their nose?
ZT points. Not to you, but to Victor.
Brock.
Who
wouldn't want that? He has women whenever he wants them. He has whatever he wants. He rules. The other warlords fear him. Of course, we all want that.
No, we all
You
don't.
want that too, or you wouldn't be threatening me right now.
No, what I want is to free this place from him. From all
Right, so you can
warlords.
rule it. I get it.
I don't want to rule.
I did it.
So you and we're the same. We want the same thing.
I turn to Sveta. I don't think so. I say out loud to him. To her. Excuse me. I mean, you see this. He's never going to think beyond the end of his nose.
Look, I'll run to Samara. Obviously, I can't use what Satine has now. And as far as Orloff, I don't know. I have no ability to fix. If Bogomol is after somebody, there's nothing I can do about it. Unless, of course, you want to help me kill Orloff, and then I won't need Satine.
Well, except that you would not be the one in power if that were to happen. The people.
Well, then why would I help you do that?
I don't know. Can you think past the end of your nose? Can you see that there's thousands of people that are on these streets that are suffering?
If we let him
suffers.
go, I don't think he'll stop his greedy, mischievous ways and plotting. I think he is a lost cause.
John, before I do anything drastic,
It has been so long since we've lopped someone's head off.
I know that, but before I do anything drastic, I have not committed to not harm this man. I've made no such promise. I've not committed. I'm making sure that I'm not playing against my major code of honor.
Feudal samurai would not think twice about executing a criminal.
That's what I thought. I just wanted to make sure that I was.
I know all the way. I understand. I'm not going to tell you how to play your character.
No,
And and what I mean by that is because you are not a feudal samurai, right? This is you're a Rifts samurai. But in my eyes, I don't, as much as I know, and you know more than I do, but as much as I know, my understanding of a feudal samurai is he would not think twice about executing a criminal.
Yeah. So I will very smoothly turn in a circle, and when I'm finished, you'll see that my hand is on my sword, but I am replacing it, not taking it out. And then his head falls off.
Make a fighting roll.
Just straight fighting?
Yeah.
I'll
Audible cope.
I'll re-roll. You'll have to take the Benny from me. Let it go. And then I gotta find the character sheet again. Fighting. Oh, come on. I'll spend another Benny. I tell you, there are times that D12 does not seem like it's very good in this game.
Random numbers are random. However, you rolled a 4. Yeah. You're not quite as smooth as you wanted to be, but
yeah.
So you spin in a circle, lop his head off, and you're wiping the blade before you put it up?
It's all one motion. You wipe and then in.
Okay. Done.
And then I say, well, at least we don't have that problem anymore.
He's just standing there with his mouth open in shock.
We tried our best to reason with him. But if he doesn't want to listen or anything, then
He showed no repentance. He showed no inkling of desire to change. He would never see past the end of his nose and would continue to hurt people the way he hurt Satine.
I mean, I guess I understand, but is this what we are now? Are we hitmen?
We did not.
We kidnapped him from his place of work, beat him up, and then executed him.
And if Satine was your daughter?
I would hope that she wouldn't have come searching for help from this type of man to begin with. We are not from the city, even.
Yes, but we do have an opportunity right now that would be ruined if we were to let him go. We have the codes to his fortress. We have weapons dealers working with us. We have a possibility of being able to overthrow him. Let's say we let him go. And let's say that Bulagov finds him.
Wait, are you saying that we're in this city now to take down Olaf?
It's not why we came here originally. But we literally have the keys to his castle. Do you think it will be easy to get a second crack?
I suppose not.
I don't like it any more than you do. But if Orloff were to get his hands on this man, he would change the codes. The plan would be foiled. I'm worried as it is for the bodyguard if he was recording us with his eyes. But he's a bodyguard, nothing more. He was doing his job. I could argue that he was a criminal who deserved the same, but I have tempered my views on such things over the last several years of being back here. Not everything is black and white. But I can't... He wasn't going to help us. I did not see a better way.
I can't disagree.
I have no qualms with it. My duty here is to put an end to men who only aim to cause pain and trouble for others. And that's exactly what those selfish attitudes bring. If he was to end up beating Orloff or replacing Orloff or even relocating and plotting to do the same where he moves, it would have just been more of the same.
He did bring up a good point, though. I do not want to rule. I don't think any of us in here do. But let's say that we are successful. We overthrow Orloff. Then what?
I think we would have to rely on Arthur and his organization to bring right and just people who want to listen to democracy and keep the people's desires at heart.
And if they don't, then we come back and we decapitate them, correct?
Yes.
What do you think, Arthur? You're being very quiet. It would be your men that would be finding new leadership for this entire sector, this territory.
I don't like this any more than you, but I'm not sure I see another way out of this. When we took him, we cornered ourselves. We painted ourselves into a corner. At that point, that kind of only had one way to end.
Well, he could have changed, but he chose not to.
Yeah.
But the question still stands, Artur, if we go through with this, if we manage to overthrow Orloff, will your men be able to live up to the task at hand? I mean, I'm afraid the city will be invaded by the other warlords.
Well, we've known that from the beginning. It is a difficult thing to try to think that far ahead. Maybe we need to take some time at some point to sit down and think about this. But I don't know the answer right now.
Nor do I.
So, what are we going to do next?
Well, that thread is tied up, so to speak. Satine is safe.
I don't know if we're still sure whether Orloff is looking for her or not.
Well, I think we've done the best we can to make her safe, get her a chance to have a normal life.
I do wonder, now that we have these codes, you brought it up, that seems like too much of an opportunity to pass up.
That is also my thought.
That would, and if Orloff is looking after her, taking care of him would solve that problem.
That is also true.
Maybe we should meet this guy that Marco's trying to introduce us to.
Yes. And after that, perhaps we sit down and take inventory of what we have, what's available to us, and how we can possibly plan this out for success.
But first, should we do something with his body so that there is not a connection between him and Satine? This is her apartment.
There already was a connection between him and Satine. Satine will never return to this apartment.
Is it any risk, though, leaving a body, especially if someone of importance to Orloff, in her apartment?
Yeah, I get your point. I mean, we can wrap him in this carpet here and toss him in the alley or something. We can at least do that.
Yeah. That would be better.
Do you do that, Sveta? Wrap him in the carpet?
Yeah.
All right. You've got a body in a carpet.
What,
I'm not sure what you do with the loose head.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are we going to do with the head?
I mean, I guess you can stuff it in his shirt or something and wrap it in the carpet.
You know what I always said about Rock?
What?
He should have quit while he was ahead.
All right. So, unless there's something to do, you guys go downstairs. You dump him in the alley. There's kind of a dumpster there. You can toss him in there. You take a taxi back to Marco.
Yeah, but the long way.
Okay. All right. 15 credits. Whoever wants to pay that, take it off their sheet.
I got it.
Okay.
Okay. All right. It is morning. Marco, Miaznik, and Vlada are sitting at a table eating some kind of processed food goop.
Hi there.
I think we're pausing for a second.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be back.
All right. Give me a second.
I am back.
Mark is still gone.
I see that, and Chris is taking advantage too.
Yeah,
I see.
he
Good for
ran
him.
off, so he'll be right back.
Ooh.
He's back. So, did you recognize that is one of Mark's ringtones?
Yep.
You
I
did?
recognize that as his ringtone for his partner.
Ah,
Hmm.
I see. Okay. I at first I was like, what the heck? Why am I hearing music all of a sudden? So,
Sorry about that.
no worries. We understand. Okay, so you get back. Marco, Vlada, and Miaznik are eating some kind of processed food for maybe breakfast.
Fair enough.
Miaznik and Marco have that typical "good God, it's morning" look. Vlada seems like a brilliant ray of sunshine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Well, you won't have to buy her new eyes now.
Okay. You took care of the voiceless? You were gone all night.
The voiceless and Vrock. So that should be good. She should be safe from that front. Orloff may still be looking for her, but I figure you probably have the best chance of keeping her hidden safe.
So what's the plan now, boss?
We meet this gentleman you wanted us to meet.
All right. He says Um, okay. He says, Victoria. And you see across the room, you hadn't noticed her yet. Victoria stands up, rolls her eyes and is bored, and says, what? He says, I need to send a message. But I think I'm going to need you to take these guys to the warehouse. Whatever. So Marco goes over to a terminal and types something. And he says, while I wait for a response, do you guys want to eat something?
Absolutely.
And he goes over and pulls this processed goopy stuff out of a pot and hands you a plate.
I'm sure Z-Teach will think it's the best thing since sliced bread.
Yeah, he hands each of you a plate.
I will eat the processed gooey stuff.
It's mostly flavorless. I mean, it's kind of salty and has a savory taste, but
Oh, that
you don't
was not what I was
recognize it.
expecting. Okay.
Liquefied protein snot.
Yeah, kind of.
Z-Teach will take it with a smile, and so to speak, and will like slowly eat it, but like smiling around the crappy snot that he's eating. I imagine the liquid from Matrix.
Yeah, kind of like that. Yep. It's kind of in the shape of the dishwasher laundry
Tide
packets.
Pods? You're making us eat Tide Pods? Really, John?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not. It's protein snot, but it's
Protein Tide Pods.
yeah. When you're about halfway through your delicious meal, there's a ding over at the terminal. Marco goes over and says, Taurus can meet us. Victoria, take him. All right, follow me. And she starts heading out the door. And you guys get about halfway to the door, and Marco says, Miaznik, you go with. And he just silently starts following you. And you're about to say something. You had that look like you were going to say something.
Oh, only if I passed her, which we didn't, so it's fine.
Ah, okay. So she leads you outside, and there's a car outside, and kind of a souped-up 4-seat kind of deal. And she gets behind the wheel and waits for you guys to get in the car.
I guess Arthur's sitting on Sveta's lap then.
Yeah, it's kind of tight, especially with Miaznik. And as soon as the door closes, she takes off. And, you know, it seems like she's driving 500 miles an hour through the streets. I mean, it's probably not over 40 or 50, but considering the streets, you know, it's you know, white knuckle kind of stuff. And eventually she gets to after a while, it kind of appears like you were going downhill a little bit, and you get to a more industrial looking part of the city. And she drives up an alley, and as she drives up, a door opens, and a door big enough for 3 cars, and she stops before going in, and she just looks at you guys and says, I'll wait here.
Thank you.
Whatever.
You know, the more you do that, the more endearing it is.
I don't get paid enough for this.
Get out. Head
Okay.
towards the door.
All right. You see a big empty warehouse with nothing in it. And in the middle, there's a vehicle and two people.
Okay. Head towards the vehicle.
Okay. And you see these two guys standing there, just exactly like you see here. And as you get close,
Wait, just like I see where?
did I not
Roll 20.
roll 20?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I need to change the... There we go. Got it.
As you get close, the shorter guy says, my name is Taurus. And in chat for your notes.
Ah,
I really like that you do that.
You're welcome.
greetings. I am Orist. This is Sveta and Zetich.
Hi.
Oh.
Marco sent you?
He did.
Next to me, this is Andre.
Well met, Andre.
He just nods, but he's silent.
What can we
So-
do you for?
Marco, you're customers of Marco, is that true?
Yes.
Archer says yes. I'm his customer. These are my friends. So, mind you, that you can say what you want. I'm going to ask you for the truth, and I'm going to ask you not to hem and haw. And if our needs align, then maybe I have an offer for you. But if you hem and haw, or if I sense any kind of deception, I'm going to leave. So I'll ask one time, and he points at you, Orist, and then he points at each of you in turn, and he said, start here and tell me what you're doing with the weapons, and what are your goals? And he starts with you, Orist.
To liberate Ukraine.
How do you plan to do that?
Well, it's complicated. So the best thing I can say is we have been going town to town helping where we could. And eventually the goal is to overthrow the warlords and take back the Ukraine.
And you're in Donetsk, which is the city of Orlov. Is there a reason for that?
Well, initially, and I turned to oh, my brain has just completely stopped
Archer.
working. Archer. And I say, I don't want to overstep my bounds. Do you want to answer that?
We've been fighting. Archer looks at him. We've been fighting Orlov's men, and all of us are part of a, I don't want to speak for everybody, but we're all part of a resistance with ultimately the plan, yes, to overthrow Orlov, and then if we're successful with that, to remove the other warlords from Ukraine. And he pulls down his shirt and he shows the black and red flag on his armor. And Taurus nods his head and says, all of you say the same?
I nod.
Yes.
He looks at Z-Teach.
I'm here to help them however I can.
Okay. Our goals align, but I'm not the person you're meeting.
Okay.
Bait and switch.
So the two of them kind of bread and butter around the vehicle and walk deeper into the
I don't think I've ever heard that term.
You
said in
said
that
bread
way.
and butter. You said bread and butter, but my mind heard kid and play. So I'm imagining them dancing now.
wow.
saying.
Okay. So they walk deeper into the warehouse and you see towards the back there is this mass of wires, and there's a kind of half circle raised above the wires, and in front of that is a small podium with buttons, and he starts pressing buttons, and this portal or rift appears in there and then comes into focus, and you see this person walk out, and Tara says, as this person walks out, says, "This is Utani," and he bows.
I will follow suit and bow.
Same.
Same. Although a much less deep bow than everyone else, just a very slight bow.
Utani.
And Utani walks up, looks at Taurus, and says, "Thank you," and looks at all of you and says, "I assume that Taurus has confirmed that our interests align." He says, "I am Utani."
He or she? I did not catch that pronoun.
Or they.
Or they.
Just said, "I am Utani."
Okay.
You've not heard a pronoun.
Well,
I thought
you
you said,
said
"I am-"
something. You said he or she said, but I couldn't understand which. So that's why I was asking.
Let's go with they.
They. Yep, perfect.
I thought you introduced yourself as "I am the Utani." It's like, are you like a colony of things? One living organism?
Well, it's obviously a DB. It's obviously an alien of some type.
So,
What is your interest in the freedom of Ukraine?
You know, it's interesting how goals can align and not exactly be similar. What do you call this city now?
Donetsk?
Is it still Donetsk?
Yes.
What do you know about this city, and what do you know about Orlov?
Well, we know Orlov loves his toys. This city is his stronghold, and that he has a apparently cooperative agreement with the Splurgorth.
Yes, he does. Utani are businessmen. We are merchants to all the dimensions. Donetsk was...
I'm sorry. Did you say we? Did they say we Utani are As in, like, that's the name of a race?
You're asking in or out of character?
Out of character. I missed part of what you said.
It said, she said, well, they
Yeah.
said, we are businessmen.
Okay. And, and if you don't mind, do I? First of all, do I know what race she is? DB
Um,
form.
no. I'm thinking that this is probably the first time. It's Sveta's never seen an Utani. You've probably never seen an Utani. I'll let you make an argument if you can convince me that you had
No,
inside knowledge into technology level Japan.
definitely not. Definitely not.
And Z Teach.
Nope. You don't have to worry about it.
Okay. Well, because they do serve all dimensions, so
But are they tech based?
absolutely.
Then yeah, it wouldn't have been a thing.
Okay. So no to all of you then.
Yeah.
We sell to people who can pay for our goods. Orloff made agreements with us. How do you think he took over everything he took? Where did he get his cybernetics?
From the
His weapons were originally Utani. He refused to pay.
Aren't
Yes.
the Splurgorth also a merchant race?
They are.
Okay.
I don't know if Sveta knows that, but yes. Out of character, yes.
Yeah. Sveta knows vaguely of the Splurgorth because her father's like thousands of years old and probably ran into one at some point. But I
Okay.
don't think he ever told her like details.
Got it.
Of what they were.
Okay. Our Donetsk, the city you're standing on, is built on the bones of our advance team that initially helped Orloff. And he's refusing to pay us. We cannot let that stand.
So, your end goal is, should we be successful and liberate the city and the region, you would wish to do business with us because we would pay you. And you would assist us in...
Well, that's another matter.
Okay.
My interest is where our interests align, which is, I believe, the death of Orloff.
Yes.
We would prefer not to act directly. We can and have and will, but we just find it better on the bottom line if we don't have to take such actions.
Right. Well, we have recently come into possession of some information that would lead credence to a swift attack on Orloff's citadel.
Do you need assistance with that?
Yes.
What do you need?
Well, for starters, is there a way to cut off the Splurgorth's supplies to Orloff?
I'm sure he's using a portal like I just used. Mind you, he has here and Samara.
I would also ask...
My intelligence tells me he's leaving the city in 3 days to travel back to Samara. He's having to deal with the Disciples of Destiny.
Yes. You say you can go to all dimensions.
Oh, of course.
I look at Z-Teach. Could they take you home?
I'm sure for a price, but I wouldn't abandon you. Not here, and not now.
So, I had another idea in mind. Do you think you'd be able to convince your people to help us?
Are you talking to me or?
I'm talking to you.
Oh, some probably. I, I probably could. Yeah, but it would take time to do that. It would take time to explain and get them in line. Is that something that you could do? He says to
Utani.
Utani.
Um, sure. If we just need to know your dimensional coordinates.
You couldn't.
Scan him.
What if I give you a good description?
If you've not been here too long, we might be able to get some residue to scan to find your coordinates.
Residue.
Sure.
It's in the in the creases of your body fat.
Nice.
How well have you really showered since you got here?
It's easy to swipe under an armpit and then shake their hand. No, not really.
Uh,
I mean, Archer, what? I mean,
if
How
you're
many
familiar, it has to do with quantum entanglement.
Right. No, he's not familiar.
Archer, what? I mean, besides us, how many people would we want to? Would we want? I mean, would seem foolhardy for just the four of us to try.
Yeah, I
and
can
take
get a platoon into the city. I already have a platoon of 12 men at the warehouse outside the city where we met Victoria.
Would we be
I could
able
get
to,
them into the city. Much more than 12, I think, would be noticed.
And could they bring Sveta's armor as well?
Yeah, I think they could handle that.
Then we would need weapons for them. Weapons and armor.
Okay.
I mean, you seem to be at a great advantage. What are we missing?
You're asking Utani?
I am.
Well, it seems like we need to do a contract for, a small contract. And we can, I think we can provide, you need 12, you need 12 suits of armor and, 12, what kind of weapons? Are we wanting rifles, pistols? And we're not doing stealth. Are we doing we're doing a straight assault?
I look to Arthur. I mean, we don't really have to assault the fortress. We have the codes.
Yeah, but in the video, at every point we saw guards.
That is true.
And they were all full cyborgs.
That
Heavy
is also
cyborgs. Utani says, I can provide 12 sets of any BA-55 super soldier exoskeletons.
Great. And armor-piercing weapons?
Yeah, I think the any 103 Silverfire mercenary multi-rifle. And I'll give you one of the any 104 missile rifles. Unless, of course, you'd want the plasma minigun instead of the missile rifle. Do you know if any of your men have a preference?
I think I think the plasma minigun would be more useful in close quarters than a rocket launcher.
Okay, yes, of course that makes sense. Um, and so if I have it here in an hour,
And what kind of cost would we be looking at?
cost, yes. So one, of course, we want you to terminate Orloff.
Mm-hmm.
And again, our intel says he'll be here for 3 days. We want a share of any intelligence you get out of his headquarters.
Mm-hmm.
And we want an exclusive rights on weapon purchases for the future.
Two addendums. Number one, after this is all done, you will assist to the best of your ability to get Z-Teach back to his home dimension. Number
Okay.
two, we have to have some kind of inflation guarantee. Obviously, if we make you our sole vendor and then you raise prices by 900%, that will not be good for our people or our land.
It's never. We're not that kind of businessman. We've millions of years of business trading. It's not in our interest to be anything other than fair business. We want return customers, not angry customers.
Then you wouldn't mind putting that in writing then, right?
Oh, of course. A contract is coming.
Fantastic.
And
Art, or is there anything else that you can think of that we've overlooked?
wow. I'm not even sure what to say about all of this. No, that's great. Um, what? Maybe we should talk about it in the future. But um, do you have drones and surveillance equipment? And Utani just yes, of course we can talk about that. That's one of my gaps is a lack of surveillance. Certainly, we can talk about that at a later date.
Well, and I'm sure the host would like to be involved as well if we are able to somehow upgrade horses and weapons on that front that can help keep the borderlands secure.
Absolutely. We you name it, we have a product line that will cover the need. And we're willing to research and develop new product lines if it's beneficial to both of us.
Sveta, you've been quiet.
Um, uh, assuming this contract works out well, do you have any interest in working with us again in the future with against the other warlords?
We have no animus towards any of the other warlords. However, um, we will, if you want a business arrangement, we're willing to provide you whatever goods and services, well, goods that you require
Keep that in mind.
for the appropriate price.
Of course.
So, teach anything else you can think of?
No. And thank you for making my trip part of this.
That is if we survive.
True.
Utani walks back through the portal and says, "I'll be right back with what we've agreed." And he talks to Taurus really quickly and then walks through the portal. And while he's gone, Taurus and oh, I looked that up.
Anthony.
Is that what I said?
I think so.
Andrew.
Oh, Andre.
Yeah, there it is. I knew I had that name. Taurus and Andre pull the portal apart, and it gets larger. They each pull aside, and it just grows. And it's the size that a semi can drive through now. And you guys wait, and you can talk if you want. But if not, about an hour goes by, and Utani walks out, and a matter of fact, two of them walk out that look, they're not twins, but you'd be hard-pressed to tell the difference. And they walk out, and behind them, a large wheeled vehicle rolls through, and following that is kind of a grav forklift thing, and it begins taking crates off the truck, and the one of the Utani walks over and says, "Who is in charge? Who will be signing the contract?"
I look at Arthur.
I can sign. Arthur signs. It's on basically on a tablet, and he signs, and then Utani instructs him to put his hand on the tablet and scans his hand. While that's going on, the other Utani walks over and to Zteach, and he says, "Are you Zteach?"
Yes.
"I'm Utani."
Nice.
And he has this
you?
weird device, and he says, "I was instructed you need to be scanned."
Oh, yes. Yes. And
Okay,
Zteach will stand with his arms out to the sides.
so he kind of looks at you weird, like, "Okay, weirdo." And he plays with some dials, and he kind of does the tricorder thing and waves it around.
Mm-hmm.
And
Look out, he's casting a spell.
he looks back at Utani, and he says, "Alpha 5667, Earth." The other Utani says, "Okay, yes, we can do that."
What did you call those? The dimensional coordinates?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, have you done business with that planet before?
Oh, of course we have.
Huh. I stand corrected.
We are a large corporation.
It really is seeming that way.
So, you guys, it takes about 15 minutes, and you see 12 large-size crates, and are offloaded, and that are all the same size, and then there's another large crate that is um, put next to them, and the truck and the forklift go back through the portal. And the guy who scanned you leaves, and the original Utani says
Are they identical?
they're not twins, but you would have a hard time telling them apart.
Okay.
And they've both I introduced themselves as Utani.
Right. That was the part. That's why I was wondering if if they looked the same or if they were very different individuals.
Um,
So that's awesome.
yeah, they're not identical, but you would have a hard time telling them apart.
By the way, gentlemen, I'm just letting you know now. I have a hard stop at 9:45.
Yeah.
I don't know where that was. I was going to suggest that we finish this and end here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because that way John has time to plan our deaths.
Yes.
Always a
So-
good thing.
Are these like? Do they have alarms or kill anyone that's not registered to them on site?
No.
Okay. Do they have a biometric scan for people we want to drive them?
The armor?
Yes.
No. They'll so long as you're trained, they'll work for whoever gets inside and fits.
And is training part of your sales package?
Oh, we can add that, but we'll be charging for that. I'm assuming that when you asked for armor and weapons, you had people trained. Arthur says, "Yeah, they know we're good."
Okay.
But we'll need some fitting. And Utani says, "Absolutely. We have 3 days. We can meet. How long will it take you to get your men here?" Arthur says, "We can have them here this evening." Utani thinks a minute and says, "What's the local time?" It's about 10 a.m.
Just about 10 a.m.
So you can have them here in 10 hours?
Yes.
Arthur nods. All right, I'll meet you here with a crew for a fitting at 10 p.m. tonight.
I'm just really enjoying the John Talks to John show.
I do. I like
I
it too. I really like it.
I try to avoid that.
I know it's his pet peeve. That's why I was like saying,
Mark,
it's 10
Mark
a.m.
backed him into a corner
Yes.
to talk to himself on purpose.
Yeah. Well, I mean, narratively, it's going to happen. But yeah, I always feel awkward doing it. Anyway, Utani says, "Is there anything else?
Do you
Do you
have
have
a
any questions for me?"
price schedule for if we wish to purchase things in the future?
I will bring you a price schedule, and I will bring that with me a catalog at 10 p.m.
Thank
Do
you,
you-
Utani.
Do you prefer digital or hard copy?
Probably digital, because I'm guessing your hard copy would be large.
It depends. I don't think you need access to our full catalog. You don't need orbital fortresses, I assume.
But how would I know until I see the catalog?
I think we'll limit it to what we think you can use. If that's all,
I love that. I think we'll know best.
since you guys don't say any, he turns around, he goes back through the portal. Taurus walks over and
Maybe Sveta wants to throw hammers from space like a god.
Taurus shuts down the portal. Hammers from space. And Taurus shuts down the portal and says, "All right, Andrea and I will guard the boxes. We'll be safe here. You can stay if you want. Otherwise, we'll see you at 10.
Actually, probably be a good idea to get some shut-eye. So we can pull up corner of the warehouse and just doze until they get there, because we haven't slept for a while.
Okay. Archer says, I'll leave with Victoria, and while you guys nap, I'll go get the platoon.
And don't forget Sveta's armor, please.
Yes.
We'll remember it. So Archer leaves.
Is there a forge around?
No.
I don't know where I would possibly get one.
You've been in the middle of a warehouse. It's concrete and metal walls and not a whole lot of coal and furnace going on.
Well, what brought that up was I forgot that I still have the death metal stuff from the Beast Squad in my inventory. And I was curious, like, what the stats were with that and, like, what I could do with it.
It's an MDC metal.
Okay.
I mean, I know it's this cool, but it's just an MDC metal.
Okay. So it's not like some rare metal that's better than whatever's in my hammer or anything.
Potentially with, if you make good rolls, it might do something cool.
Okay.
Once you have a forge.
Huh?
Once you have a forge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, because I've been keeping that in the back of my mind. It's like, should I make a weapon with it? Should I make my armor pieces with it?
I am amused at the idea of me falling asleep propped up against some I-beam, watching Sveta try to kindle tinder in the middle of this warehouse to build a forge in 10 hours or less.
We'll
I mean, the
bricks
problem,
out of other walls.
I mean, you could probably find enough scrap metal to be sufficient to build a forge. The problem you would have to solve is where you would get your fire source.
Yeah.
Just hook ZT up. He doesn't need sleep.
Yeah, and you both, Mark is right. You both haven't slept for like 2 days, so the idea of 10 hours trying to invent a forge is probably, sleep probably is more on your mind at the moment.
Yeah. Save that for a future project then.
Or anything else?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Okay, so next week I'll have, when you unpack the crates, I'll have pictures of the armor and the weapons. I'll have stats for you.
Well, that's okay. Archer's going to keep track of all that anyways.
Nice.
In that case, as always... Oh, go ahead.
Well, the last thing I have, is there anything that you can think of already that you're gonna ask me next week that I can spend the next week preparing?
I won't know till I see the catalog.
Well, okay, I get that, but I mean, like, okay, fair enough. But I like plans or things if only we had a blah blah blah.
Well, what I would want to do is I think we have a copy of the video, right? I thought we made
Marco.
one.
I did you specifically? I know Marco has a copy.
Yeah, I thought that we made a copy when we were watching it, and I thought it was in our possession.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, I think so.
Because I mean, we'll want to review that for the path, basically, because we're working backwards, right? We're gonna go in where she came out through that elevator, to try and catch Orloff in his sexy place.
Okay. Give me 2 seconds. I want to give you something. 8. I'm going to give you your catalog. There's the link to your catalog.
Cool. And over the next, I don't know, week or so, I'm going to try and get some of the digital map worked out.
Awesome.
I was clicking around it a little bit while we've been talking and dealing with the Utani. And it's not easy.
No, it's not. And you get what I said about making the line anyway.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mark.
No, thank you. And thank you for running. And thank you, Chris. Thank you,
Thanks,
Danny.
Ryan.
As always, if you'd like to support us, you can do so by clicking that follow button on our Twitch channel, or you can hit the subscribe button and become one of our rock stars. On YouTube, you can hit the like, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to hit the bell so you get notified every time we upload content, which is almost every single day of the week, Monday through Friday. Or you can head to our Patreon page at Gamersledge, patreon.com/Gamersledge, where you can get your name on every single show that we do for as little as $1 a month, just like the fine folks that are scrolling across the screen right now. Thanks for joining us tonight, and again, thanks, John, for running. Tomorrow night, Wrestling Smart Mark will be on at 7:30 p.m. After AEW Dynamite. And until next time, thanks for watching, and game on.
Game on.